Welcome back to the watch list. I'm Ryan Dillon. NetraMark Holdings recently announced the appointment of Dr. Larry Alphs as its Chief Medical Officer. Joining me with the details is CEO George Achilleos. George, thanks for joining us.
Ryan, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And George, please provide us with some more information and background on Dr. Larry Alphs. I understand he has a very impressive resume in the pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah, exactly. I think when you're trying to build a company, we're a generative AI company that's focused on de-risking clinical trials. So when you think about that premise, what's most important is really to get the right leadership team in place that can help with access into the pharmaceutical industry. If you look at Dr. Alphs and his background, he was executive director at Pfizer, head of therapeutics at Johnson & Johnson, director at Novartis, and he was president of the International Society for CNS Clinical Trials. So a very deep, seasoned industry veteran that will provide lots of value to NetraMark, given his resume and background.
And how will this appointment specifically help NetraMark, and what's the significance for investors?
Well, there's two key things that he will play a role in. The significance, first of all, for investors is a company such as ours, which launched in January of this year. We're very focused on the commercialization of our technology platform, our generative AI technology platform. So we are trying to make sure that we can accelerate that as much as humanly possible. So number one, Dr. Alphs will provide his industry access and his Rolodex and connections that he has to help accelerate the build of our sales pipeline by making introductions to obviously leading pharmaceutical companies around the world, number one. And the second thing that we need to do when it comes to the validation of our technology is to continue to publish research, white papers, peer-reviewed publications. So he will also take a leadership role as Chief Medical Officer when it comes to the research and validation of our technology and some of the work that we'll be doing in those areas, which I think are huge value adds for NetraMark, and ultimately comes down to how do we actualize on our technology platform and build our sales pipeline.
And thanks for your time, George. Again, that was George Achilleos, CEO of NetraMark Holdings.